Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish nations. And I am here with a budget plan for October 2021. It's already the 9th of October, so this is a little late coming, but that is just kind of the nature of this time period. Giant shout out to anyone who has been working at full capacity during all of COVID. I have personally been working full time, but as I am finding myself back at full capacity with students and in the building and students in my class in person, it has been very exhausting. So, you know, well, take a break. Everyone deserves a break. Um, so yeah, I saw a meme and it said, I'm going to do this October challenge where I just try to get through every day of October. And so that's my plan to. Last month I had some intentions for the quarter, and so last month was technically the end of the third quarter. But like as we're going into this like last bit of the year, the fall of the year, I'm working at a school, so I'm kind of on school schedule, so it's kind of like the beginning of the year in some ways. But I had the intention to save as much as possible. As far as October is concerned, because I budget 1 month ahead, so I'm living on the money this month that I earned last month. I'm still, even though I'm teaching right now, I'm not seeing that pay reflected because I'm using September's pay. So I'm gonna just stick with the meme. I'm just gonna try to get through every day of October. I'm about to share my plan with you, but I also realize it might be dicey. Something that I need to do is buy a plane ticket to go home for the holidays. Um, as long as we're, still sort of feeling like flying is relatively safe in December, that's my plan. I didn't save up for it, and I have not bought a full price plane ticket in a long time, in several years, because I've done just a little entry level credit card hacking and to get travel points for plane tickets. But because I went to Florida twice this summer, I actually have no points left, so I actually need to pay for this out of pocket. And I normally save up throughout the year for travel, but all of these sort of the factors are resulting in me just making the decision to use money from my emergency fund. I do need to buy my tickets soon, but my hope is that maybe, depending on where priorities sort of fall, that maybe I can build that back up in the last part of the year. And if not, that's just something that I will be thinking about as I plan my New Year's budget. All right, so we're using every dollar budget. I'm not a Dave Ramsey fan, but this works really well for the way I do my budget and the way my brain works. So I use the free version. If you are new here, thanks for stopping in. If you're coming back, thanks so much for helping me stay accountable to my budget. Even when things are rocky, having these check-ins with you every week, a little more than every week, really is helpful to me. So thank you so much. Let me know down below if you've got any plans for the holiday season. And let's get into this budget plan. I guess I had two more intentions I wanted to talk about. And one was really enjoying myself. Leaving town briefly to look at another job sort of made me realize that I am not ready to leave the town I live in. So I'm going to be enjoying it as much as possible. And I do have some fun things coming up in October that will help me do that. And the last intention was recommitting to my business. Well, I just had my meeting with my possible commission for a wholesale order. So hopefully I will get an order. And so we'll see how that goes. And if I do, I will definitely update you about it. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Yeah. let's get into this budget plan. So I'm planning off of 2,900, even though I do know what I made last month. I always like give myself a little bit of a cushion. I don't necessarily recommend this. As you can see if you've watched any of my videos, I am very much like a down to the penny person, but just for my brain, I just like having that little bit of cushion. But do what works for you for sure. Let's scroll down. So sharing my income, doing the regular 150, 2% art, $60. Um, emergency fund, just because of the way October worked out, I'm putting 0 towards that. I have been trying to add to it. And I'm just not remembering what I said. Did I say my first intention was to add to my emergency fund? I will be continuing to do that, but I am not going to plan for it. We'll see if I'm able to. Savings, this is just what my my emergency fund and whatnot get for interest, and I just keep it in this one little account for funsies. Investment, so I always send 500 to my Roth, in addition to my Roth IRA, which is the only thing we really see in these budget videos. I also have money that goes toward my my pension through my job. It's non-negotiable or whatever. Like, I don't have a choice. That just goes to my pension. And I am now currently vested. I vested about a year ago in the midst of the pandemic. I got a little pin that said 5 years. And I also send money to a 457B, which is a additional retirement account that I have access to. I also have access to a 403B, but I don't use that. I send a pretty small amount. It's about $400 a month, which I say small. I just mean it's not going to get anywhere close to the $19,500 that I could, in theory, put into it. I obviously couldn't afford to do that. But actually, I increased it a couple of months ago, and that is, I mean, I feel like I'm sending a lot of money to retirement right now. I'm very highly focused on it. Which I've said this before and I'll say it again. If like 5 years ago Nicole could see me now, it's pretty wild. But anyway, rent is the usual 1,100. Electricity, I allocate 40. And that usually works out. Occasionally it's more and often it's less. Phone is about 60. Internet has recently gone up to 87. Honestly, it only went up $7, and like my will to call and negotiate with them is low, but I'm gonna have to do that at some point. It was 80. It started out at the very beginning at 60, and I've been negotiating every year. Groceries, I'm doing, it says 198. That's just what I had to put in to make this an every dollar budget. But yeah, it's about $200. I'm not sure if I'm getting any more CSA veggies. I'll have to see, but I feel like I have a lot of food in the freezer. I've got a lot of dry food, so I think this will be okay. October might be a little hard, and I'll tell you why. In my first budget check-in, I had a small fail, but we'll see. And then I also know that in October, I have I have prioritized spending money in restaurants, local restaurants, and also treating friends. So I put a sort of large amount. Normally I put $100, but I put $240. But when you see, or actually my first budget check-in, I think is up, and so you will see this was a necessary choice. Household, I'm doing 20. Kittles, I'm doing 80. So I normally do 125, but I was really having to finesse the budget this month. Okay, gas is 100. I would really have liked that to be more, but we'll see. Fun is 100. Auto insurance is 105 these days. Renter's insurance, I just paid that, and I actually had enough in my account that I have a whole nother year saved up. So I actually don't need to save for that for another year. Wait, does that make sense? Yeah, I'll pay it, then I'll have 0 in there, and then I'll start saving $10 a month so that the next time it's due, I can pay it again. So I don't know how I went over, but that is how much is in my account. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Sometimes between the different accounts and every dollar, it does feel a little confusing, but I double checked it. That's the situation. Let's go ahead and go down to sinking funds. Oh, in case anyone's wondering, this accountant, I saved up for this 1 year, but I haven't not had such complex taxes that I needed an accountant yet. So I'm just holding on to this 208.40. I don't know why that's such a weird number, but just holding on to that, and I will use it when the time comes. So the year I need an accountant, it will be ready for me. Okay, so health fund, I'm putting nothing in the health fund. I'm basically putting nothing anywhere except I'm putting $60 in the clothing fund. And that is because I have already spent that money and I needed to account for it in my plan. So, yeah, as I said, it's going to be a interesting month, but I think it's going to be a fun one. I am looking forward to November and December where I have a little more money to work with. Because I'm teaching, so thankful for that in terms of money stuff. Yeah, all right. Well, that is me for October 2021. Let me know if you're planning anything for the holidays, what your Halloween traditions are. We will be having an outdoor raccoon firing with dress up. So I'm trying to think of a fire safe costume. Let me know if you have any ideas for that as well. And I will see you in the next video.